Hi there, folks. Just a 2-minute warning, if we could. I'll just get the candidates to come up to the stage. Please feel free to grab yourself a coffee, courtesy of Tim Hortons, and find yourself a seat. For those that are curious, we are live streaming. You gotta turn it up a bit. Swites? Up a little? Okay. We are live streaming, so feel free to, we're good? Okay, feel free to share those links. Thanks. 2 minutes. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for choosing to come out tonight. We are very excited to be having a candidacy forum here this evening in Swift Current. I was asked at the start to share that this was not put on by the Conservative Party. This was put on by 6 business owners here in our community that rallied together to be able to put this on. I want to say a big thank you to Tim Hortons, who's providing the coffee. Thank you to Lawrence Carr from Sign Here, who helped us with our some of our media stuff and with our signage. Thank you big time to Ryan Schweitzer. He's broadcasting all of this live. It's on a live feed for all of you candidates. This will be posted on YouTube. You'll have every opportunity afterwards to take pieces of that. Right, Ryan? And you can use it in your own candidacy things for the next month or so. Thank you to Millennium Land. We've got Donnie Duncan here. Anderson and Company, that's Joel Friesen and his partners, and Danny Markovinovich from 24/7 Self-Storage for renting this facility. I also wanted to say a real big thank you to the candidates. We are all called to serve, and we're all called to serve in various ways, and I wanted to say truly thank you to these 6 that have chosen to step up to make a stand and to hopefully represent us in Ottawa after October. We're really excited for what that means and what that's going to be. And for the other 5 that won't be successful in this race in the month, I would share with you, please continue to be a part of your community, continue to be advocates for the Southwest. I know all of you have been doing that strongly already, and I look forward to what your next steps are going to be. My name is Dennis, and I'll be your quasi-MC tonight. It was going to be Ryan Schweitzer, and he would have done a far better job, of course. But in order for him to be able to run these cameras and to have the stream going, we've got to have him over to my left. Our entire Southwest has been experiencing very positive growth over these last 10 years. And I want to say thank you to all the business owners that are out here this evening, and for all the people that work hard every day to ensure that we see great success, be it in our ag, our oil and gas, and our retail and service sector. We are seeing positive growth across the Southwest, and I can speak personally, we're definitely seeing it here in Swift, and we look forward after October to continue seeing it. On behalf of all of us that have organized this event, I also wanted to say thank you to David Anderson. David asked not to speak tonight. His line to me was, it's not about him, it's about these 6 candidates. For those that don't know, David's been our MP doing an amazing job for the last 19 years. He's put on... David has put on literally millions of miles in an airplane and hundreds of thousands of kilometers. You see, folks, his commute is from Frontier, Saskatchewan to Ottawa. He does it, of course, at the cost of his family and his friends and of his farm. And I'm personally grateful for that. I'm personally grateful that we've had a strong voice in Ottawa from here in the Southwest. So David, on behalf of all of us, thank you for your service. And so what we've got here this evening is we've got our 6 candidates. Each one will be allocated 7 minutes. During those 7 minutes, and we shared that with them last week, they can use that time to have somebody introduce them, and they can use that entire 7 minutes for themselves. It's their choice. We just did a random draw, and we'll go through those names shortly. I do have somebody sitting right in front of you. He will be holding up 3 different signs. He'll hold up a sign when you have 60 seconds left, that's the green one. He'll also hold up a yellow one immediately, or 45 seconds actually after that, indicating that you've got 15 seconds to go, and he'll hold up the red one. I would kindly ask all of you to be respectful of that time. We don't want to turn off the mic, so when you see the yellow flag fly, please bear in mind you've only got 15 seconds to go. We're not doing a Q&A or a debate. In talking with the Conservative Party and in talking with the organizers, our idea was that it's each candidate's choice to use those 7 minutes to share with all of us their message and share with us a little bit about them. Everyone here will have every opportunity immediately after to be able to meet and greet and speak one-on-one with these candidates. We've got this venue till 9:30, so please use that time. Each candidate's also got a table at the back, and they've got all of their information there, so you'll have that chance as well. You can also keep watching on Facebook and Twitter as well. It'll be announced throughout the media how the election's going to be going and which days you're going to have and the locations for that. And at this time, I would like to invite somebody from the Conservative Party to please come up to share with us exactly what the vote looks like. Anne?
Thank you, Dennis. My name is Anne Bennett. I'm from Shaunavon, and I was one of 5 Conservative Party members who was asked to form the nomination committee by the riding executive. So the other members on that committee are David Jessamine from Lucky Lake, and Grant Pant from Assiniboia, and Derek Talon from La Flèche, and Alice Wall from here in Swift Current. So we are running the whole nomination process, and the sequential ballot is the thing that's got people a little bit confused. So Dennis asked me to come and just talk about how the voting will work. Many of you have probably seen the notice of nomination already, so there are 4 locations where you'll be able to cast your ballot. So in the normal course of events, most nominations happen in one location on one evening. Because of the size of our riding, we've decided to expand that, and we've been able to go to 4 different locations. So you can vote in Maple Creek on Friday the 14th between 10 and 1. You can vote in Kindersley on Friday the 14th between 5 and 8. You can vote in Assiniboia on Saturday the 15th between 10 and 1. And you can vote in Swift Current at the Comprehensive High School on Saturday evening between 4:30 and 8:30. So that Saturday evening, the speeches by the candidates will be at 6 o'clock. And when the voting is finished, we'll have David Anderson has agreed to speak to us during the counting time. And then after the nomination is over and we announce the winner, we will have confetti and balloons and fireworks. Not really. But that would have been fun, wouldn't it? I should just say, we had a very long discussions about where these polling stations should be, and in the end, what we decided, we took the 4 largest population centers, and they were fairly geographically spread out across the riding, and so that's how we came up with those 4 locations. So the ballot is a sequential or ranked ballot. So you'll get a piece of paper that has the 6 candidates' names on it in alphabetical order, and you'll be asked to rank them from your first choice to your 6th choice. So you do not have to write any more than 1 name on the ballot, but I think as I explain this to you, you'll realize why it's to your benefit to do that. Once all the ballots have been cast, we'll take them to the counting room and we'll count everybody's first choice. If no candidates have 50% plus 1 of the votes, then the candidate with the least amount of votes will drop off the ballot. All of the ballots that had that eliminated candidate as their first choice, we will then count their second choice. And if nobody has 50% plus 1 still, then we will continue to do that until we get a candidate who has 50% plus 1 of the votes. We will not be announcing between rounds which candidates are eliminated. We will just come back out and announce once one candidate has 50% plus 1. So if that's confusing, or if you have any questions about the voting process, I'll be around after and I'm happy to talk to you. I want to thank the organizers for organizing, and I'm very much looking forward to listening to the speeches because I have to cast a ballot in a month too. So thank you very much.
So as mentioned, we've already gone through the process and selected who will be going first through 6. And as soon as the person hits the microphone, that's when the count's going to start. If any of the candidates do have somebody introducing, maybe just let me know by hand. You do, Kelly? Okay, and I know who you've got, so that's perfect. So the way the order is going to be, it's going to be Megz first, Jeremy second, Norm third, Kelly 4th, Sean 5th, and we'll wrap up with Kyle. That's correct, everybody? And we did do it by a draft sort of order. Nobody got to see those numbers. And so at this point in time, I will invite Megz Reynolds to the microphone.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking everyone who worked hard to organize tonight's event, including our sponsors. I'd also like to thank David Anderson for his service to our riding for the past 19 years. A special thanks to my fellow candidates for putting their names forward and for being here this evening. I speak on behalf of all of us candidates when I say that we are so appreciative of tonight's opportunity and for you all being here, being engaged and participating in the democratic process. It's extremely exciting to see the level of engagement of the party that's going on right now that we haven't seen in years. While tonight is not a Q&A, I welcome your questions, and I encourage you to find me after the speeches are done. My name is Megz Reynolds, and I'm a grain farmer outside of Kyle, Saskatchewan. I'm involved in my community with a women's group. I've also been a volunteer firefighter for the past 6 years. I'm heavily involved in agriculture policy, advocating on behalf of agriculture, our rural communities, and the industries that support us. I'm also the RM of Lacadina's rep with the Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan, sitting on 3 policy committees with them, trade and economics, crops and transportation, as well as young agricultural producers. I'm also a Great Plains College board director, and through these 2 organizations, I have been able to work with governance. I have also had the opportunity to create resolutions and bring them forward on a provincial and a national level. I did not grow up wanting to be a politician, and I'm not running to be our next Conservative candidate because I want that title. I'm running because I want to fight for our riding. I want to work with you and our communities, our industries, and our businesses to create a stronger and brighter future for our riding. This is not going to be easy, and things are going to get worse before they get better. But I'm here to tell you that together, we can do this. With me as our representative in Ottawa, we can work together to create a brighter and stronger future moving forward. Using the platform that I created, both provincially, nationally, and globally, I have been able to positively inflect change. I created such an uproar during proposed tax changes in 2017 that I ended up on Justin Trudeau's desk on the cover of the Globe and Mail. And I was quoted as a farmer that brought Finance Minister Morneau to his knees in regards to those changes. I was instrumental in rolling back what they proposed, and that proves to you my ability to create and influence change. When we were trying to get Bill C-49 passed through Senate to help our grain moving on our rail lines, I was instrumental in writing letters and getting involvement from producers in Ontario and Eastern Canada to meet with their senators, to meet with their elected officials, so that representatives in Ottawa knew that this was not just an issue for Western Canada, this was an issue for Canada as a whole, and within weeks, that bill passed through the Senate. Last fall, I invited politicians out to my farm and to my combine to talk egg policy. I had that invitation taken up by our Premier, Mr. Scott Moe, as well as two Conservative MPs, John Barlow and Rosemary Falk. I have been fighting carbon tax nationally as well, and I've gone head-to-head with Minister McKenna on Wendy Mesley. I also collaborated with our Premier Scott Moe on a video against carbon tax when we were both at the Manning Conference in Ottawa last year. I have strong connections with the Conservative Party and huge support from many of the MPs within it. I have testified in Ottawa numerous times, recently on mental health and agriculture and on the issues of non-compliance from China in regards to our canola. I highlighted our dependence on our global markets and stressed that there isn't a crop currently being grown on my farm that is not facing a trade barrier or tariff that the current Liberal government has not created or made worse. I have been called to testify because the Conservative government wants my name there. They want my voice there, not because I'm with an organization or a commodity group. I want what you all want. I want our industries supported. We need to put an end to Bill C-69 and 48 that undermine our oil and gas industries. We need to have pipelines built, and we need to have our grain moving on our rail lines. We have incredible, world-renowned manufacturing and agricultural oil and gas industries that need to be supported with tariff-free trade agreements. We need to revamp our business tax structure to back off government involvement and taxation and provide freedom required to grow, innovate, and create success. We also need to relook at our capital gain structure. We need a structure that supports business owners, including farmers, and encourages them to be successful on that sale of that business instead of penalizing them for growing that business. We need to work with families so that they're not taxed to the point that they feel like they are drowning. We need the income redistribution scheme, currently known as carbon tax, scrapped. You cannot tax an industry into sustainability, and it is not fair to penalize people that live, work, and raise their families in rural Canada. We need understanding that as gun owners, we have been vetted, and there's nothing wrong with our current screening process. I want to see mental health prioritized, the conversation normalized, and the realization made that so many of our community members are self-medicating with alcohol and drugs because of the stigma surrounding mental health. Lastly, it is crucial that we prioritize all of our trade agreements, both domestically and internationally. Our current and growing situation with China needs to be a wake-up call. We are a country that depends on those global markets, and we are at a logistical disadvantage with our location and with the way we get our goods to market. Now more than ever, we need a quality representation, a strong, trusted voice in Ottawa, and a candidate who is prepared and capable to fight for us. A candidate who will strive to play an important role in our party and keep our riding at the forefront in Ottawa. I am that candidate. I am that strong, trusted voice, and I have the track record to back up that commitment to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Megz. Our second voice that we're going to be hearing this evening is from Jeremy Patzer. Welcome to the microphone, Jeremy.
All right, I just want to start out by saying thank you to everyone for coming out tonight and making it a priority to be involved in the nomination process. Thanks to the other candidates for letting their names stand to help grow the Conservative Party of Canada. I also want to thank David Anderson for serving our riding with honesty, integrity, and for putting in the hard work to represent Cypress Hills Grasslands and our country on the world stage. I would like to start by quoting one of the founding principles of the Conservative Party. We believe that good and responsible government is attentive to the people that it represents and has representatives who at all times conduct themselves in an ethical manner and display integrity, honesty, and concern for the best interest of all. This principle best describes my goal as your Conservative Party candidate. My earliest involvement in federal politics began with having fun pounding election signs in the rock-hard ditches for David between Maple Creek and Ernfold all the way down the number 1 highway. My ongoing interest in federal politics led me to join the board of directors for the Cypress Hills Grasslands Constituency Association back in 2015 before the last federal election. As a director, one of my responsibilities has been phoning our lapsed members, so it's been encouraging for this last couple of months to be able to build up the membership base, get new members signed up, and build the excitement and momentum for the Conservative Party leading into the federal election in the fall. Also, as a director, I've been interested to learn how the party makes its policies and get a sense of the direction the party is headed on key issues. The Conservative Party is a grassroots party, meaning we receive our mandate from you, the membership, and if you want to be a part of this process, I'd be happy to talk further with you afterwards about how you can help shape new policies. Growing up on our family farm near Frontier in the south of the riding helped me learn the value of hard work and the rewards of community involvement. Being involved in the community in Swift Current has led me to joining the Swift Current Minor Baseball Board as the division head for the Rally Cap Age Division. I'm currently the assistant treasurer of the Swift Current Community Cooperative Preschool, and I was recently elected to the governance board at Eastside Church of God. One thing I've enjoyed doing is refereeing basketball in the high school and in the middle school years. I've also been heavily involved with the Filipino community, refereeing their men's basketball leagues. If you want to talk about a way to prepare yourself for life in Parliament, there's a good way to do it right there. In my conversations with people around the riding, I have heard concerns from all different sectors of the economy. I'm committed to making sure we have access to markets for our agriculture producers. I'm committed to making sure we stand up against bad policies like the seed variety use agreement, which is another way to take money out of our farmers' hands. In a conversation that I had with a fuel provider, we were talking about the carbon tax and about how he had to pay $400,000 on April 1st on his existing inventory that he'd already paid for. This is just another example of a bad policy that doesn't support business and it does nothing for our environment. Another topic that frequently comes up is Western separation. I just want to say that I believe in the country of Canada, and to echo what Premier Jason Kenney was saying to the Senate committee in regards to national unity, completing the Energy East conversion and the Trans Mountain project will help unite this country. Developing our resources is in the national interest of Canadians, and getting our resources to Tidewater is essential to accomplish this. Bills such as C-69 and C-48 will continue to drive a wedge into our nation. I am encouraged by the action that the Senate has taken on these bills, voting down C-48 and modifying C-69, with recommendations from the people in the oil industry, but also from the government in Saskatchewan and the government in Alberta. These bills are currently back in the hands of the Liberal government to see what, if any, changes they are willing to make. So to help show the need for these projects to be completed, back in 2013, we spent $26 billion importing foreign oil, and that came out to being 43% of the oil that we used here in Canada. Our energy sector is one of the mainstays of the economy, both locally and nationally. So we need to support our energy sector and growing it, and it's a message that I will take to Ottawa. My wife works in a small boutique here in Swift Current, and I've had great conversations with lots of small business owners about issues they are facing, such as increasing payroll taxes, footing the carbon tax bill, and taxation on passive investment income, which prevents businesses from growing. You know, 98% of the businesses that we have in Canada are small businesses, and about 73% of them have 10 employees or fewer. These numbers underscore the thin margins that our businesses face and the need for government to not get in the way of business owners doing what they do best. It was because of small business owners, like many of you who are in the building here tonight, pushing back that some of the Liberal government taxation policies were stopped. These policies would have harmed the economy further and interfered with creating more jobs. Small business isn't limited to little niche stores and boutiques, but are quite often the key supports behind our industries like machine shops, parts and tool stores, and fuel providers, just to name a few. Lastly, I want to talk about an exciting initiative by the CRTC. Because we've all experienced drop calls, poor cell coverage, and slow internet speeds in our rural areas. The CRTC has created a fund of $750 million over the next 5 years, and this is to boost broadband and fixed wireless speeds to 50 megabits per second in rural Canada. My career at SaskTel will assist in making this a reality in our riding. This is going to help our businesses in small towns be more competitive. It's going to create more reliable cell service in the rural areas, which in turn will help with safety and concerns with rural crime. It will also help grow technologies that our farmers and ranchers can use in remote monitoring when they are away from the farm, such as existing grain bin monitoring and moisture control systems. So we need a candidate who can be a strong voice, and not just for one part of our economy and one part of our industry, but for all facets of our riding here. We can all see how the different sectors of our economy work together when our oil and gas industry is growing and thriving, and when our farmers are succeeding. We see the benefits in our small businesses, but also in our community associations. I will be a strong voice, but an even better listener to the members of our riding, because when we're working together, we are stronger together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy. Next up for our third, we have Nordgulen. Welcome to the stage, Norm.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our second and all candidates forum. First, I want to congratulate my 5 colleagues for stepping forward as I have to fill the shoes of departing MP David Anderson, who we all owe a debt of gratitude for his service. I would like to state right now that should I win the nomination, I would like all 5 candidates to consider serving on my council. I would be amiss if I did not thank the organizers and sponsors of this event tonight as well. I would like to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. My wife Sheila and I, who's in the back, live on the family farm that was established by my grandfather and his 2 brothers in 1907 near Assiniboine, which I have proudly owned and operated for over 40 years now. I began my municipal life some 14 years ago as a councillor on RM72, the last 7 years as its reeve. I served 3 years on the board of the Agriculture Producers of Saskatchewan as its livestock chair. I have also served 5 years as Director at Large for the Saskatchewan Stock Growers Association. The highlight thus far, though, has been my 8 years as Director of Division 2 for the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities, a role that has more than prepared me for the position I now seek as your Member of Parliament for this riding. A role that has seen me on more than a dozen committees and boards, both internally and provincially. Too many to list here in 7 minutes. A role as a director that has taken myself and our team to Ottawa many times to lobby on your behalf. We call them advocacy days. We advocate with anyone from the Prime Minister's office on down to ministers, senators, and opposition leaders and opposition parties. This is what I was doing in April, which is why I am late in entering this race. I did not want to miss an opportunity to meet with the Honourable Bill Blair on gun and safety issues, and I believe strongly in finishing one job before I start another. During my time on the campaign trail, I have come across many important issues. As your elected Member of Parliament, I would support Andrew Scheer in the immediate repeal of the carbon tax, which will add inflation and stifle our economy further. A hit the West cannot endure. I would suggest to the caucus that for our farmers and our economy, restoring markets for canola, durum, lentils, and barley must be a priority. To do that, we need a government these countries will respect. Ladies and gentlemen, these countries do not respect our Liberal government or its Prime Minister. We need a Conservative government under Andrew Scheer, who as Prime Minister, I know will not embarrass our country by playing Mr. Dress-Up, nor forget what country he is in. I would suggest to caucus we need an increase to the capital gain tax for farmers. It's something we've taken to Ottawa many times. Since 1980, land prices have gone up over 1,000%, and yet the capital gain tax has only gone up 100%. Many farmers have all their savings in their land. It is their life's work. It is only fair they get to reap a decent reward, not give it all to the government. I would support caucus if these laws are passed. We want to repeal the anti-pipeline bill C-69. We want to repeal the anti-tanker bill C-48. And we certainly want to repeal the backdoor gun registry bill C-71. We've been there before. As well, we want to get the $4.5 billion, now $7 billion Trans Mountain pipeline done, as well as the Energy East pipeline to get our oil coast to coast and get all our workers back to work, all of them. I would suggest we need the right to own property enshrined in the Constitution. Why was it left out by the elder Trudeau in 1982? The need for a responsible fiscal management goes without saying. This Liberal government has found out the budget will not balance itself. According to the Fraser Institute, the holidaying Prime Minister has reached an all-time high in spending, a record $8,870 per person in 2018-19, with $120 billion added to our debt, much higher than our spending in World War II. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already know, we have many seniors in trouble. Many of the very people who built this great country are living in poverty because their pensions are inadequate. I had one senior tell me it was either groceries or pills. Well, he charged the pills, for now. Many are being forced out of their homes because their pensions are inadequate and costs are rising. It breaks my heart, and it should break yours as well. Adding insult to injury now, the Liberal government is changing the name of the Canada Pension Plan to a Canada Pension Benefit. These seniors paid into the plan all their life. It is their plan. It is not a government benefit. I firmly believe seniors to be our greatest asset after our children. I would suggest to caucus an immediate raise in pensions for our seniors, as well as our veterans who have been told many times that there is no more money. Yes, Mr. Trudeau, we do have money for both. We must have money for both. And this is going to be controversial, but I would like to announce here now, until seniors are treated fairly and raised to above the poverty level, in their support, I will not be seeking or participating in any parliamentary pension plan. If elected, I will have the same bowl of macaroni at the table as the rest on retirement. We need tougher penalties for criminals, not a catch and release system. We are in the midst of crystal meth epidemic. Drugs are the root rot of our society. Gangs and violence are increasing at an alarming rate as a result. They and their dealers need to be taken off the streets. Finally, I would suggest to caucus a larger, improved legal immigration system, not one where people can jump the border at any time they feel like. Immigration has been and is a growth factor in our great country. This nomination election is a very important one. I believe our future is at stake. I believe Western survival is at stake. We need the right candidate, so please use your votes 1 and 2 very efficiently. Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Next for number 4, we have Kelly Williamson, and we have Al Bridle introducing him. Welcome to the table, Al.
As you've heard, my name is Alan Bridle. I've owned and operated a business here in Swift Current for over 30 years, and I've served on many community boards, school boards, just like a lot of these people up here, and I do commend you for letting your name stand. It's very impressive. Anyway, it's great to see so many people out here today, and for this turnout, and it's such an important part of our democratic process, picking a candidate. And it's just good to see you all interested in learning about these different candidates. Now, it's my pleasure here tonight to have the opportunity to introduce an individual who I believe will fight to make a difference for Cypress Hills Grasslands. An individual that has integrity, honesty, commitment, and the experience required to effectively represent the residents of Cypress Hills Grasslands in Ottawa. An individual that understands the needs of communities both rural and urban. An individual that has a proven track record of leadership and working to improve the quality of life for Saskatchewan residents. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Kelly Williamson.
Thank you, Al, for that kind introduction. Hello, fellow constituents of Cypress Hills Grasslands. My name is Kelly Williamson, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to represent you as the Conservative Party candidate in the 2019 federal election. I'd like to begin by congratulating my fellow candidates and thanking everyone attending this important forum this evening. I'd like to extend my thanks to David Anderson. David, it's been quite the commitment. The conversation we had before I put my name forward really gave me an eye-opener to what's down the path here. No matter who wins this candidacy, everyone's involvement, hard work, passion, and input to this political process makes our riding stronger. The past few weeks of this nomination campaign have been beyond encouraging. I'm grateful for all the positive conversations we've had and the support I've received. I'd like to thank my team. Without their tireless efforts, I wouldn't be standing here this evening. The destructive policies and lack of action from the Trudeau government is taking a serious toll on our country. Like many of you, I am fed up with Ottawa. All of us here tonight want similar things. We want to be free of misguided regulations. We want a thriving economy that is clear of Eastern interference. We want to prosper and be fairly rewarded for our efforts and have the same economic opportunities as the rest of Canada. We do not want, nor deserve, to be punished by unfair equalization systems or environmental taxes. This fall's election is going to be dominated by environmental and economic issues. Our riding needs an MP in Ottawa who has a proven track record of getting results in both of these areas. I've had the opportunity to see how government works from both sides of the desk, as a government employee and an industry advocate. I have the experience in environmental negotiations, resource management, agricultural policy, running a small business, municipal governance, provincial and federal bureaucracy, and international networks. This experience will give our riding the best chance of benefiting from decisions made in Ottawa. I support scrapping the carbon tax and allowing provinces to make fair and responsible decisions. Specifically, I support government policies which foster responsible citizens who work together in order to balance their needs with the needs of the environment. The carbon tax is a regulation which does not meet the needs of our specific working landscape. For Canada to remain competitive in the global economy, we need a robust research and innovation sector, thus supporting economic growth, diversification, new technology, and product development, helping to create jobs today and for future generations of Canada. Investment in research and innovation has been shown to provide significant returns to our country and our economy. Serving on the RM Council over the past years has given me an insight into infrastructure challenges and deficits facing rural and urban municipalities in southwest Saskatchewan. Investment in transportation, water, and communications infrastructure is integral to the maintenance and growth of our existing economies. With this in mind, I'd like to be forward-thinking. Where are the emerging economies? Where do the opportunities lie? Let's be strategic and collaborative with our infrastructure dollars. Let's make Southwest Saskatchewan a place to invest. The last priority that I leave you with is the one that most concerns me. Getting our products to market is imperative. Working at eliminating transportation and trade barriers that restrict agricultural and natural resource exports is of highest priority to Cypress Hills Grasslands. We need an NP that can navigate the bills like Bill C-69, push the envelope on rail line pinch points, and be a strong yet thoughtful negotiator at the trade table. I'm running for the Conservative Party nomination for Cypress Hills Grasslands because I believe in the people of this riding. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is to listen to the ideas of the people that are doing the work. In a lot of ways, this has given me the ability to come up with solutions from the common sense approach. We need a candidate whose communities are people who live here, who understand the issues, who are willing to stand up for them, restore our reputation on the international stage, and return our country to prosperity. Someone who is ready to join a strong Conservative government that will repeal the carbon tax. What's that? Finish? Repeal the carbon tax, get pipelines built, restore market access, and return us to balanced budgets. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the individual who's ready and committed to join Andrew Scheer and his team in Ottawa. I humbly ask you to support me as your candidate in the next federal election. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan Kelly. Our fifth candidate we're going to hear from this evening is Sean Checkley. Welcome to the stage, Sean.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. A big thank you to our MC, Dennis Perot, and the businesses that have sponsored this forum here tonight, which has given us the opportunity to speak to you all. I would like to welcome the other 5 candidates here tonight as well, and thank David Anderson for his 19 years of experience and his dedication to our riding. Everyone who is here tonight cares about the future of our country, the riding of Cypress Hills Grasslands, and your home communities. You are concerned about many issues, foremost the economy, and you want to make sure that I care about these issues as well. You are here to listen to each speaker and determine who is going to be the right voice representing your needs in Ottawa. You're looking for someone to bring fresh ideas and real solutions. I can do this job. I've spent many years preparing for this position. I have a fond memory of my grandpa and I attending my very first polling station in Fox Valley. He was always very political and was stressing the importance of our right to vote. He asked me as we were leaving the building how it felt to vote for the NDP. I looked at him, said I wouldn't know. I voted Conservative. That was the day that I realized that he encouraged me for my right to vote and stand behind the party that best represents my ideas and that I align with. That day, I became a Conservative. I am passionate about this riding and would love nothing more than for my children to have the opportunity to grow up in the beautiful small town that I did. The Cypress Hills Grasslands riding needs a member of parliament who has the passion and the diversity to represent numerous needs and sectors that our large area encompasses. I've been actively involved in the agriculture industry for more than 20 years, starting as a young boy picking rocks for area farmers, to buying farmland of my own and building up a herd of Black Angus cattle, to whom I purchase and grow feed for. My wife and I also grow pulse and cereal crops, which gives me the understanding of the fluctuating market and its effect on grain farmers and cattle producers. We need an advocate who understands the importance of solid trade deals and the harmful effects trade tariffs have on the commodity pricing, for example, when it comes to chickpeas and lentils. Producers need a member of parliament that understands the impacts of these tariffs and the impacts they have on producers' bottom lines. We need a voice that will stand up and foster productive agreements for all producers in our industry. Whether you grow pulse, cereal, or oilseed commodities, you need to be represented with a strong voice that advocates what's best for the producer and the agriculture industry as a whole. I have 16 years experience in oil and gas industry. I served as a production operator for Apache Canada and Canadian Natural Resources. During some of this time, I was a well site supervisor that looked after the coil tubing services. I fully understand and support the immediate need of pipelines. We also need a productive, competitive royalty structure. This will allow a competitive structure allowing competitive and new technologies into the industry so companies have the rights to produce more efficiently and effectively. We can use methods such as water flood, polymer injection, or CO2 injection to give reserves a longer producing life in our areas. A competitive royalty structure will give confidence to the oil and gas sector by staying predictable, progressive, and sustainable. This will allow the industry to grow and allow companies to reinvest in capital in our areas. I've been elected by the people of the Village of Fox Valley in 2009 to serve as a councillor, and leadership role of the mayor in 2011. I've been engaged in community growth and in development, in policy creation and in infrastructure regulation changes. I've seen firsthand what communities need and the difficulties municipal governments are facing today. I've been privileged to be the urban executive member for the Southwest Incinerator Committee. This committee is made up of more than 38 communities working together on a solution for municipal waste. So we have sustainable services here in the Southwest. We need a person who understands how regulations need to fit the mold of the community. These regulations should be well thought of and work effectively. I've been actively involved in the Saskatchewan Party for the province since 2016, and I sit on the Cypress Hills Constituency Board as Vice President and Membership Chair. I was involved in the Saskatchewan Party leadership race with our Premier Scott Moe as his membership chair for the Cypress Hills constituency. I have developed a very strong and successful relationship with many of our provincial members of the legislature and with our current Premier, Scott Moe. As I've already developed a strong working relationship between the provincial and municipal levels of government, moving into the federal position would strengthen these relationships and help create a bridge between three levels of government. Only positive outcomes can occur when government works together on all three levels. I've been married to my wife Jenna for 11 years. She's an excellent example of community, with her dedication to the school community council, to our local skating arena, and most recently, the Maple Creek 4-H Club. I could not be more amazed and proud to have her support in my pursuit to be your member of parliament for Cypress Hills Grasslands. Jenna, along with our two children, Tenley and Jace, have been my strength in my home. And without my team members who are spread across the riding, I could not have accomplished all I've dreamed of in the past couple of months. Our team grows in numbers each day. Currently, we are over 40 members large. Together with my family and our team, we are asking for your support in the nomination meetings coming up June 14th and 15th. I feel the economy of the Cypress Hills Grasslands needs a voice that understands the area's strengths and what is needed to encourage vital growth and competitiveness in all businesses. Whether it's agriculture, oil and gas, or manufacturing, or small business, we need to promote and encourage growth and maintain the expansion of our riding. I feel I have the leadership that is needed with both urban and rural communities, someone who understands the demands of communities to maintain and develop new and existing infrastructure within your communities. Whether you're a large city or a small village, we need an individual who can unite and bring area together by encouraging and supporting regional cooperation. When we work in a partnership, everyone wins. Regional cooperation will be the way of the future. We need someone in Ottawa who understands the diverse needs of our area, the concerns of our people, and has the experience and leadership we need to represent your voice. I am that person. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Next up to the microphone, I'll invite Kyle Bennett. Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you to Mayor Perreault and the organizing committee for inviting me here tonight. I would like to thank tonight's sponsors. Without your support, we would not be here. And thank you to David Anderson and all you've done for the area, Cypress Hills Grasslands, in your last 19, 20 years. I'd also like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to step up and have our voice be heard. Without your support, we would not be here tonight. And to all of my colleagues up here, thank you for stepping up and having your voice heard. Most of all, thank you to members of this audience for getting involved. Investing in a membership, standing together. We are the true north, strong and free. Together we can make a difference. My name is Kyle Bennett, and I am seeking nomination for the Conservative Party of Canada in the Cypress Hills Grasslands constituency. I am passionately dedicated to our province and the most qualified candidate who, when elected, will proudly represent Southwest Saskatchewan. Our values, our voice, and our place on the world stage. In the next few weeks, we will be electing a new team captain for Cypress Hills Grasslands. The team captain always puts his team first and leads by example. Team captain always cheers loudest when the team gets down. The team captain is always aware of his teammates. I want you to know I am passionate, I am aware, and I'm willing to listen to you and be your captain in Ottawa. I am so grateful I had the opportunity through my business ventures and alongside my wife Jennifer to be present while raising our children. I was able to help with practices as a parent as well as a coach. I was present during their dance, soccer, baseball, football, hockey. I have spent hours helping with homework. However, I realize they don't need my help anymore. Apparently, I'm too old for this new math. I am proud to say that Jennifer and I have raised our children to be independent young adults. As many of you know, I grew up in central Alberta on a mixed family farm. After high school, I attended Olds College and graduated with 2 diplomas related to land and environment fields in the energy sector. I love to travel and enjoyed my time working all over Alberta and northeastern BC. In 2006, I had the opportunity to work in Shaunavon area. My family and I spent the summer in 2007 in Shaunavon and fell in love with friendly people and the opportunities here in the Southwest. I continued oilfield consulting all over southern Saskatchewan, living in Shaunavon and working on our dream of owning small business. My wife Jennifer and I worked hard to build Bennett Plaza, a 10,000 square foot strip mall, which now holds our favorite restaurant, Subway, which we own and operate. Jen and I actually met in a Subway, but that's another story. During construction, I decided to start a full-service rental shop, Southwest Rentals. This was a great business venture that taught me a lot about people, business, and myself. I've been a member of Shaunavon Town Council since 2012, and I chair the administration committee, as well as Southwest Waste Management. A committee that has brought like-minded municipalities together with a great working relationship. I am the chairman of our provincial Subway Advertising Board, which is elected by peer franchisees, and is responsible for $1 million advertising budget. I am involved with the Municipal Shared Resource Committee. We are a partnership of 11 municipalities that share ideas and resources to strengthen our region. Our goal is to build strong relationships with federal, provincial, and municipal governments. I co-founded and chair Perk Up Our Parks Committee, sit on boards of Economic Development and Shaunavon District Fire and Rescue, another great resource shared by multiple municipalities. I'm on the board of Swift Current Minor Football and also spend time volunteering as a coach. It just so happens I have some 50-50s here available tonight for United Soccer here in Swift Current. You can see me later for those. With my broad experience in these areas, I am the right choice as your Conservative candidate for Cypress Hills Grasslands constituency. Once elected as your representative, we'll kickstart the economy through agriculture, export, and trade. We need to repair and expand relationships with our agriculture trading partners and build new partnerships. Once elected, I, Kyle Bennett, will educate my fellow politicians as well as the rest of the world that our agriculture exports are safe, clean, and of the highest quality. Carbon tax. Our agriculture industry is among the most advanced in the world. And we have the best land stewards. Our oil and gas sector is regulated at a very high standard. I commend our industry professionals for the work they do and the respect they show our landowners as well as our environment. The carbon tax not only harms our petroleum and agriculture sectors, it removes Canada's competitive advantage at a global level. Once elected, I, Kyle Bennett, will support our Conservative Prime Minister Andrew Scheer in scrapping the carbon tax. Build pipelines, not just one, but 3 national pipelines. I believe the Keystone XL is very important, but we also need Energy East and the Trans Mountain Pipeline. We need to reunite our great country, and this would provide direct and indirect jobs all across Canada. It would demonstrate to the rest of the world that we respect our fellow Canadians and put our economy, our people, and our products at the highest priority. Once elected, I, Kyle Bennett, will work relentlessly to get these pipelines built, to get our people back to work, and make all of Canada energy independent. Last but not least, something I'm most passionate about, economic development. Put a stop to the useless spending and balance the budget through building and supporting business. Let's get our people back to work and help business grow. Small business and entrepreneurs are the backbone of our Western economy. We need to create a positive environment for entrepreneurs to create value-added industries and jobs within our region. I personally know how much work it is to start a new company, and we need to support new business to ensure its success. Once elected, I, Kyle Bennett, will work to create policy and language that lets Canadians and the rest of the world know we are open for business, and that we support all business, from farmers and ranchers just starting out, to big business investing in our region. In closing, remember we are all on the same team here and all have common goals. I'm committed to let my experience and my actions speak on behalf of the people of Cypress Hills Grasslands. I share your vision, I am taking action, and we will have results. I stand here today and ask for your support to elect me as team captain because I believe in our region, our province, and our people. Let us work together for our province, fighting for what we know is right, understanding and knowing what it takes to make our dreams become reality. I am here for you, and I will do whatever it takes. Please vote Kyle Bennett this June 15th. Thank you.
Well, everyone, I just wanted to ask if you could please give a round of applause for these great candidates. Each is a true community leader in their own respective rights, and I know all of us are going to have a very hard decision in the middle of June. I look forward to that, and I look forward, of course, in October when we'll be making another choice nationally. I know that when you're looking across, attendance might seem a little low this evening, and I'll attribute that to my friend Ryan Schweitzer and the crew that he's got rigging going for our online video right now. We've been getting lots of texts and tweets, and we actually have quite a few people watching online tonight. So technology is definitely working, and I'm very grateful for that. And for those that are in attendance, you get the opportunity firsthand to be able to speak with each one of these candidates afterwards, and I'll invite you definitely to do that. Definitely, it's a chance for you to visit with your neighbors and with your friends. And I know that we're all working very hard to grow the Southwest together. And on behalf of our committee, I wanted to say thank you to all of our local media that's here. Thank you, of course, to the sponsors. And thank you to all of you that are watching at home and those that are in attendance. Thank you so much, everybody.